Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Alonso, and today I'm going to talk about Taylor Swift's Reputation era and how it intersects with feminism in both empowering and contradictory ways. We'll dive into how this album fits into broader feminist conversations and where it falls short, using critical perspectives from feminist scholars, music critics, and cultural theorists. So, the thesis statement. Is Taylor Swift a feminist icon, or does Reputation fall short of intersectional feminist ideals? So, my central question is, can Reputation be seen as a feminist album, or does it stay confined to a privileged commercial version of feminism? I'll explore how Swift's use of feminist themes reflects broader debates in pop culture about what feminism looks like, especially in the hands of celebrities. This project uses feminist theories to analyze both the content of the album and the cultural context around its release. So, for the context and background, Reputation came out in 2017, so right at the height of the Me Too movement. It was a moment when women were speaking out against powerful men across many industries, especially in Hollywood and the music business. Swift's own experience, including her sexual assault trial, placed her in the center of this conversation. To understand Reputation, we need to understand feminism's evolution in the US. The first wave focused on voting rights, the second, from the 1960s to the 1980s, emphasized reproductive freedom and workplace equality. The third wave brought in intersectionality, acknowledging how race, class, and sexuality shape women's experiences. And the fourth wave, where we are now, emphasizes social media activism and calls for inclusion. Swift's feminist identity exists at the intersection of third and fourth wave feminism, but her work often reflects just a narrow slice of it. So, Swift started as a country pop darling, writing songs about teenage heartbreak and personal growth. She avoided political labels early in her career and was careful to appeal to a broad audience. Over time, though, she began to embrace a more explicit feminist stance, especially after being publicly criticized for not speaking out during major political moments. Reputation marks a turning point in her public persona. It's dark, vengeful, and unapologetically self-centered. She takes aim at the media, her critics, and even her fans. This album is about regaining control, and that desire for control can be seen as feminist, but it is also deeply individualistic. So let's dive deeper into the song. So, first off, Look What You Made Me Do. This track in most is Swift's most direct response to media backlash. She uses metaphors of death and rebirth to reinvent herself. The song is aggressive and defiant, but it doesn't offer much critique of the broader systems that led to her media treatment. It's personal, not political. So, then, Don't Blame Me. Here, in this song, Taylor Swift leans into the archetype of the emotionally intense woman. It's a reclaiming of that stereotype, which is interesting, but again, it stays in the realm of self-branding, just like Look What You Made Me Do, rather than being so political. Then, Delicate, a softer, more reflective track. It plays with vulnerability, public perception, exploring what it means to be scrutinized as a woman in the spotlight. Then the man from Lover, I'm not sure why it doesn't show up on the PowerPoint, but this track critiques how male artists are rewarded for behavior Swift is condemned for. It shows a clear feminist voice and helps us see how her thinking evolved. Scholars like Sarah Bennett Weiser talk about popular feminism, feminism that sells. It's empowering in appearance but doesn't challenge the status quo. Angela McRobbie uses the term post-feminism to describe a feminism that celebrates personal choice while ignoring structural inequality. Bell Hooks takes it further, arguing that feminism may be intersectional. That means addressing how gender intersects with race, class, and sexuality. Swift's feminism critiques argue doesn't fully rise to that challenge. It often centers on her own experience and ignores the struggles of marginalized communities. Audience reception to Reputation was mixed. Fans embraced the bold new image, while critics questioned the album's depth. Some praised Swift's confidence, while others felt she was recycling tropes of victimhood and revenge. Importantly, many feminist listeners asked, where's the solidarity? Where are the messages that speak to women beyond Swift herself? This tension between personal empowerment and broader activism is at the heart of debates around celebrity feminism. When does a feminist message help uplift others, and when is it just a marketing strategy? So now we're going to start looking at artists who engage in feminism differently. So Beyonce, for example, her album Lemonade weaves personal pain with collective history. She highlights Black womanhood and uses her platform to address structural racism and family trauma. So I put a picture of her in one of her performances with the feminist sign in the back. Lizzo, her music promotes self-love, body positivity, and racial justice. She represents a kind of joy that is also deeply political. Then Janelle Monáe, through Afrofuturism, she explores race, queerness, and gender fluidity. And Haley Kiyoko, a queer artist who challenges normativity, in pop music. These artists expand the feminist lens by comparison, and Swift's feminism looks narrow and personal when you compare to these. So Swift is a master of branding. Reputation was released with a massive marketing campaign. From black and white imagery to snake motifs, everything was carefully constructed. But when feminism is tied too closely to branding, it risks becoming hollow. Commercial feminism can spark interest, but it can also dilute the message. When empowerment becomes a product, it raises a question: are we buying change or just buying in? In recent years, Swift has become more politically vocal. She supported LGBTQ plus rights, spoke out against Trump-era policies, and encouraged young people to vote. This shift suggests a more mature feminist voice, one that is slowly becoming more aware of systemic issues. Still, her engagement often centers around safe or popular issues. She has not consistently supported Black Lives Matter, spoken out during key racial justice moments. Her feminism is growing, but she's still a little cautious. Despite its limits, reputation still matters. It sparked debate, encouraged fans to think about agency, and showed a woman refusing to be silenced. That has power. It also challenges us to think critically about feminism in pop culture. Can a pop album be feminist if it doesn't address systemic inequality? Can people, can personal empowerment spark social change? These are questions we should continue to ask. So here's what I want to leave with you. What would a truly inclusive, intersectional feminist pop album look like? Could Swift evolve to create that kind of work, or do we think that she's limited by the system she thrives in? Feminism in pop music is messy, layered, and constantly evolving. Artists like Taylor Swift are part of that story, but it is up to us to as listeners to demand more, to support voices that are diverse, inclusive, and brave enough to tackle systems, not just stories. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped you think differently about reputation and the future of feminism in music. Thank you.